My name is Benjamin Ogunbodede, and I work with the television production house. On this day, the 15th of July 2016, at around 9:30 to 10, I think I spent up to 40 minutes or up to an hour in traffic that day. I was on my way home from work, and then I stopped by at Alagbole Junction to buy myself something to eat because it was quite late. I couldn't cook when I get back home. So after buying myself the suya, I saw this face that came to wave me down that I should help her ahead of the road. I think she was going in my direction, so to speak. So, of course, it's what I do almost all the time. When I'm going home and I see people that need my help, of course, I always help them. So I helped this person. And then at the point where I got to to a point, as in very close to my house, I saw a police checkpoint. Well, I think I would say it's a checkpoint because oftentimes when I'm coming home from work late like that, I see them at that spot. I think it's a random checkpoint that they make when it's getting late. So I've seen them on one or two occasions at that spot. So I wasn't scared. I thought that, okay, it's still the normal police checkpoint that I am used to seeing. So I moved ahead because they were standing right at the junction where I would make a turn to my street. So when I was making my turn, one of the officers came to the front of my car and asked me to move back. In fact, he asked me to park. And I asked why he was telling me to park. And he just said I should obey first. I should park. He wasn't wearing a uniform. He was wearing a mobile police t-shirt, a black mobile police t-shirt. So he asked me to park, and then I obeyed. Then after parking, he came close to me and asked where I was going. I said I'm going home. In fact, this is a turn into my street, so I'm very close to home. Then he said, where was I coming from? I answered this question that I was coming from work. She was still in the car. And then the officer asked for my driver's license, and I showed it to him. After showing him the driver's license, he asked me to come down and open the trunk of my car. I came down and I opened the trunk of my car. And then I got back into the car. When I was getting back into the car, he now said, what's my relationship with the lady in the front seat? And I started laughing. I'm like, what kind of question is this one? What's my relationship with the person in the car? She's my friend. Like somebody I first of all said she was my friend because I really did not expect them to take it further. So I said she was my friend. And he said, how is she my friend? That this is how people do human trafficking. This is how you people kidnap people all over the place. And I was laughing that, in fact, I would say I won't even call her a lady. What I was seeing from picking her up was like, I was seeing the image of my own younger sister in the lady, because seeing a lady like that, a girl like that, at that time of the day, she's over 18, but she's young. So I saw her and I saw, okay, this person actually really needs help. So that was like, okay, let me just drop her off. So the officer asked my relationship with the lady in the car, and I told him that he has no right to ask me that kind of questions. And then the next thing he started saying is that, you see, you are a kidnapper. That's how you people used to do kill young people and use them for money ritual. I was just laughing that, what kind of talk is this one now? That there was nothing like that. I'm coming from work, I saw this girl, then I went into the details that, okay, this is just somebody that needs help. She's going ahead. I don't know where exactly she's going herself, but I just offered to push her ahead so that when she gets to the point where I take my turn, she gets down from the car. In fact, I had gotten to where I was taking my turn, so I was expecting her to even get down at that point. So that was where they began the story of human trafficking, kidnapper, money rituals, and plenty things that I can't even explain. Then I was laughing at first until the officer now said, arrest him. Oh, there was an officer coming ahead. That one was even in mufti completely. He was wearing a Ankara dress on a Friday, of course. So he said, arrest that guy. There's no point arguing with him. Just arrest him. And I said, you can't arrest me for nothing now. What exactly are you arresting me for? And then the officer just said I should get into my car. And then they took the girl into their own van. They had a bus parked somewhere. So they took the girl into the bus. And then the officer entered my car. And when he was entering my car, I said, can you at least hold on for me to make a call? Because this is my street. So let me just call my family members at home so that they know that something is going on around here, or so that they know that I'm going to the police station. The officer said I can't make any call, that I have to get to the police station first before making any call. While I was trying to ignite the engine of my car, I was trying to send a text. So he noticed that I was trying to send a text. He collected the phone from me. And then he said I should just drive. So I obliged. I just drove. Then I drove with this officer to the police station.
Where's the police station?
Well, I've never gotten to that area before. But to be precise, I saw that it was Ajuwon police station. So it's at Ajuwon. It was my first time in that area, and it was the first time seeing that police station itself. So it's in Ajuwon.
So at that time, the lady was not in your own car?
No, she wasn't in my own car.
A police car? Or...
There was a police bus, parked at the checkpoint.
How many were there in total?
There were about 5 at that point. Okay, so when I got to the police station, it was a different drama. I saw lots of people, I think, from the bus that was coming behind. People started getting down from the bus, and they asked most of them to go behind the counter, and then they took me into one of their offices. And then when I got into the office, I sat down, and then they started questioning again. At this point, there were still like 4 or 5 of them. So one of them actually was leading the questioning, and he was asking questions that, where did I say I was coming from? I said, I told you already that I was coming from work. And then he said, okay.
Did you ever show them the ID card?
Well, at the point where it was when we got to the police station that the issue of the ID card came in, because they started asking different questions. So I started bringing out things from my wallet, my ID card, my driver's license. I also.
If I was taken out of the point that you were arrested, on what charges was he arrested?
I don't even know if I should call this an arrest, because it didn't occur to me that it's an arrest. Okay, yes, it was an arrest at the point where they took me from the checkpoint to their police station. Human trafficking. Human trafficking and kidnapping. Yes, that's how they called it.
The lady wasn't asked any question at that point.
You know, I was busy trying to fight my way out of whatever situation it was, so I wasn't even really paying attention. All I said about the lady was that I picked this lady on the road and I'm going to drop her somewhere ahead. I was really busy trying to say you can't arrest me. Now, why? What have I done? What reason are you arresting me for? So it was at the point where the officer asked me to get into my car. We go to the station, that I noticed that they are taking her into their own bus.
Okay, so what was the interrogation like? What question were they asking?
Okay, so when we got to the police station, they started fresh interrogation. They asked for that I was carrying, that there was a bag in my car, that they want to see the bag. I showed them the bag, and there was a laptop inside of it. That's my laptop. I brought it out, the officer opened it, I put my password, and then he checked. After checking, he said, he said nothing to his other colleague. I was looking at him, he said nothing to his other colleagues. Then the other guy said, check his phone, there has to be something. Then at the point, at that point when we got to the station again, they had given me my phone back. So the officer asked again that check his phone, there's something in that phone. So I gave them my phone again, and then they checked. After checking, the officer checking the phone looked at his other colleagues that there's nothing in it. Then they now said there has to be something. There has to be something. There has to be something. Where is your car document? Go and bring it. Then I went, one of them followed me to my car, and I brought the papers of my car, and then I put it on the table. And then the officer, the one checking, started checking one after the other. One after the other. After checking one after the other, he said, where did you get your car from? I said, I bought it. It's a Nigerian used car. I bought it from somebody. He now asked who sold the car to me. I told him that it was a car dealer that sold it to me. That I think a friend of his wanted to sell the car, so he gave it to him. So he was helping the guy to sell the car. And then he said, so I bought a car without even seeing the owner of the car. I said I didn't need to see the owner of the car now. In fact, I met the owner once. That's the day they brought the car to me. And when he just dropped the car, and he said he was leaving, that he had somewhere to go. So he dropped the car and went. And that was the only time I saw the owner of the car. So the dealer and I negotiated price, and then we agreed. And then at the end of the day, I paid. After paying, he told me that the owner would not want to lose his number, that he wants his number back. So that means I would have to do a fresh registration. So he helped me contact somebody that will do the registration for me, and then everything was made, including the police report. The police report and the roadworthiness, all the documents that has to do with new cars were done, and they were given to me, and I made copies and all. So since then, I've been using the car, and it's not the first time a police officer, I'm going to be stopped at the checkpoint and present my car documents. And until that day was the first time I'm going to hear that there is no court affidavit that show. There's no affidavit in the documents that my police report does not show the old number that came with the car. And I told them that I didn't make this document myself. As you can see, it's a police report. You can see your emblem on it and everything. That I didn't make this document myself. It's a police officer that made it. So if there is a mistake with this document, of which I don't think there is, then it's not my fault.
At what point did you not charge you for adultery?
So after much explanation about the car, they switched back to the lady again. That okay, we are back to this girl. That this girl said that she's a hawker, or in fact they called it, she said she's a prostitute. And then I picked her somewhere and I was going to pay her 8,000 naira. I said I didn't have any such discussion with this person. That I didn't have any such discussion with this person. Can this person can the officer at least bring the lady so that she can say these things in my presence? She was somewhere in the room, but she was not. Somebody else was talking to her. Another officer was talking to her. So I yelled at Angbo, "Kilo sokwe o ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin mi àti ẹ." She looked back and I said, "Ohun ò sọ kankan." And then she faced front back. And I said, that's what the girl just said, that she didn't say anything like that. He said I should shut up. In fact, take the girl out of this space. And then they took the girl away. And then that was where it became, we are charging you for adultery. And I said, adultery, ke? Okay, the officer now said, I'm charging you for adultery and I'm charging that girl for prostitution. And I started smiling again, the adultery, when I'm not married. You already asked me many questions. I told you everything. So how would you charge me for adultery when I'm not married? And then it became, this guy is stubborn. And then he started saying silly things, started insulting me, saying plenty things at me.
Can you remember what time this is?
They had collected my phone, but the last I remember was that at the point I got to that checkpoint, it was around 10:30.
By night, we're probably around after 11.
Yes, by this time it was going towards 11 o'clock to 12.
So they didn't release you that night?
They didn't release me that night. After after the girls' matter, they said I was stubborn, and different things like that. And then that officer that was in Mufti again said, just lock this guy up. Let's not waste time. By the time we lock him, he would know we are not joking. No, before he even said they should lock me, he said, why are you arguing? And then one of them came like he was soliciting for me and took me to a corner. I said, why are you going through all these troubles? Now, why don't you settle these people? Or why don't you settle and go? Do you not want to sleep in your house tonight? I said, what am I settling for? I said, what am I settling for? I've actually not done anything. In all these allegations that you are putting on me, I can't even pick one of it as a genuine one. He now said, Oga Olagidi Loto, and then they decided to lock me up. So they took me to the counter where the other guys are, and they started doing their routine, the lock-up routine, took off my clothes and everything, and then they locked me in.
Okay. When they checked your phone, was there any issue with your account balance?
Oh, The issues with my account balance was not raised at that point, but I've not, when the guy checked the phone, he didn't say anything. He just said, he didn't say anything at all. It was much later, they came to the cell and said, they called Benjamin, and he said, I'm here. And then they asked me to come out. When I came outside and went into their office again, they began a fresh one. Are you ready to settle? Are you ready to settle? I said, I don't still know what I'm settling. Then I said, okay. Then he said, okay. I go and be fine. So they brought out statements and said I should start writing statements. Well, the time I sent the text to my friend was even before I got into the cell.
Because when you sent the text to your friend, that was around 12.
Yes, because before I even got locked up at all, after checking my phone and everything, after checking my phone and my laptop, they put the phones on the table. They put the phones on the table and my laptop on the table, and then they got busy with different things. So at the point, I just started thinking that should I pick this phone, should I not pick this phone? When I saw that it was a stretch of a time and I could just sharply send the message, I just picked up the phone and quickly sent the text that, guy, I've been locked up in Ajuwon police station, and I just sent it and dropped the phone again. So they didn't notice that I had sent any text at the point.
In the morning, they now came to meet you at what time?
So later in the midnight, I don't know, in the midnight they came for me, and then there was a point where they asked me to write the statements. And it was at that point that I noticed that they had actually checked my phone and seen my account statements. And then they now started asking questions like, okay, write your account, write your the balance on your account here. What bank do you use here? The account number and the account balance. I put all those. I first said, is this necessary? They said, are you going to question us or do what we asked you to do? So I did what they asked me to do. I put down my account details and everything. They asked for an autobiography, more like, what school do I attend? Did I attend? I said I was no longer. Do I attend? I said I was no longer a student. That I'm working. All the basic information. They asked all those questions and I answered. So they now asked again that this girl said I was paying her 8,000 naira, that I should write it that I agreed to pay her 8,000 naira. And I said I would not write such thing. I didn't have any agreement with the girl, so why should I write that? So it was at that point that they now brought a statement out that the girl wrote. They now read it to me. I was surprised that really this is really not funny anymore. That this is not funny. This is really not funny anymore. That I told you before that I don't know this girl. And then why are you taking her word against mine? I mean, I'm a citizen, she's a citizen. If she tells you something, you should or at least listen to my own side of the story. If you people will not let us confront each other, at least you would listen to my own side. They now said the girl cannot lie. That they believe that the girl cannot tell lie. So you believe that the girl cannot tell lie? They said yes, so I just kept quiet. So after the statement, so at the end of the whole statement thing, I asked the officer, okay, what is going to happen now? He now said, no, I said, what is going to happen now? Can I have my phone? At least I want to make a call. I want to call my family because I need to be out of here by 8 o'clock or before 8 o'clock. I have a test in the morning. They now said, oh, you have a test and you are doing as if you are a big man. And this, they started using the test against me. I started begging them that please let me just go so I can prepare for my exams. Okay, if you don't want me to go, can I at least leave my car here? While I go for my test, and then when I'm back from the test, we can come back and deal with the matter at hand. At least I can't run away with my car in your custody. They said, no way. The officer, Yusuf, said they should go back, lock me back in the cell. So they took me back in this. While they were taking me back to the cell, he was talking to me. The officer taking me back to the cell was saying that, why don't you act smart and pay us and go?
How much were they asking for?
They said 50,000. The officer said 50,000 naira. I said, where on earth do you expect me to get 50,000 naira for what I didn't even do? Then I said I don't have that kind of money. Then the guy locked me back in. So I'd actually accepted my fate though, that okay, it's like this is where I'm going to be for the whole of this day. Around 5:30 in the morning, I think, because I know, because I started hearing buses on the outside. So I knew that it was early. It was maybe 4, between 4 and 5. I started hearing buses, and then I was just there. So 5:30, I think, I'm not sure, but I think I'm just saying based on what I'm hearing on the outside. But it was still dark. An officer came again and called my name, Benjamin. They opened the cell and then took me out. And then they said, "Are you going to settle or not?" Because I had been, all the time I was in the cell, anytime any of the officers passed, I'll call them that, "Please, I have a test by 8 o'clock. I have to be out of here so that I can get myself together for the test and everything." But they won't just ignore me. So I believe that they had gone to discuss it, that, okay, let's get this guy out for this last time. And then they brought me out again. I don't know the time, but I think it's around 5:30. They now said, "Are you not going to settle?" And I said, "I don't have 50,000 naira to settle you." Then I started saying things that this test, I've prepared for long for this test. That I've prepared long ago for this test, and it's going to be very sad if I don't write it eventually on this account. If it is based on this account that I will not write that test, it's not going to be funny, that I'm not going to be happy. And they said, "That's my business, so that I should settle with 25k if I can't pay 50k. And I said I don't have 25k. So I negotiated for 5k. That let me just give you guys 5k and go. They said I'm joking, that they should go and lock me. They said I was joking, that the guy should go and lock me back in the cell. So I said, okay, chill. So how much are you people actually holding out for? I can't give you 25,000 naira. So they said that's what they want to collect. I said I will give you 10k, and that is all I can offer. When I said I was going to give them 10k, they said no, that I should do 20. I said, okay, lock me back. I said, okay, lock me back. I said, I can't give you 20k. I can manage to give you 10k. So when they saw that I had concluded, I had resided inside of me to get locked up back, they now said, okay, let's get the 10k. One of the officers said, one of the officers took me to the counter to get my stuffs, to get my, of course, he knew that at the time they were checking, they saw my ATM. So they said, the officers asked me to go to the counter. They took me to the counter. Then I got my wallet and my slippers. And then we went outside. I was even thinking that they were going to use my car to go to the ATM. And then I just saw that the guy went inside their parking lot and got a bike. The guy went inside their parking lot and got the bike and said I should hop on the bike. Okay, and I hopped on the bike. And then we rode to the bank that is at Ayawele. Yeah, Ayawele on Akute-Ajuwon Road. So he rode to that ATM spot, Sterling Bank. Then he parked somewhere. I went to use the ATM and I got money out of the ATM.
10,000 naira.
Yeah, I did exactly 10,000 naira. And then I got, yeah, that one. So
You don't by any chance know his name?
no, I don't know his name. The only name I could just pick from that night is Yusuf, because I think he was one of the top. No, it wasn't the one. It wasn't the one. It was somebody else.
But the one that was with you the other night.
Yes, he was part of the party. He was part of the party from the other night. So they took me to the ATM. I got the money out, and then when we go back to the station, I gave them the money, and then they brought out a bail form that I should fill. And I was even asking that, is it necessary? I know that all these documentations are not valid. No need to fill document. They said they acted like it's valid. So I filled the forms, and after filling the forms, they started giving me my properties one after the other. And I went to the counter to sign my things, the remaining things I had there, my wristwatch and things like that. I collected those. And then while I was getting those things, I was looking at the DPO's phone number on the wall. So I was typing it into my phone. By the time I finished typing it and I was going outside, the guy that took me to the ATM came back to meet me. that I should bring my phone. I said, why? He said he just wants to use the torchlight on my phone. So I gave him my phone. I was looking at him deleting the number I'd saved. I was looking at him. He was acting like he was doing something else, but I was looking at him. So he deleted the number, the DPO's number. He deleted the DPO's number from my phone. And then I went to my car. I started the engine. I was about leaving. Then something tells me that I should try again. Let me try again to see if I can just get the number. So I turned off my engine and went back inside that I wanted to ease myself. So while I got inside, probably they were expecting that I'll come back or something. There was an officer standing to block the DPO's number. And then I had the first few figures in my head though. So I typed the first few figures in my head. I was trying to get the concluding part. But after I typed that in, I got back into my car. That same officer came back to meet me in the car. That, what were you doing with your phone? You said you wanted to pee. Say your phone you want to take pee. I said no, I was just holding it. I'm used to holding my phone. So he collected my phone again and then deleted the number again from my phone. And he stood there and told me to drive out of the compound. Like, he doesn't want to see my leg, or he doesn't want to see my appearance in this compound again, or else I'll go back and then whatever exam I said I was going to write is going to be the end of it. And I said no problem. Then I moved my car out of the compound.